Hello everybody, it's your non-binary pal Gracious E.V.A here, and Mysteries of Distearia Volume 1 is now out on my Etsy shop. I'm so excited that I finally get to share it, and I hope you'll consider getting you or anyone you know a physical copy. What's included? Chapters 1 to 3, exclusive artworks in between the chapters, some bonus chapters, and a QR code that leads to a speed paint of these artworks. Again, you can find this on my Etsy shop, and thank you to everyone who supported the Kickstarter and were able to make this happen. If you want to know more about the story, you can check out some of my other videos or read the webcomic version. Hope you like it. Hello everybody, it's your non-binary pal Gracious E.V.A here, and welcome back to another chill speed paint video. This artwork is a pretty simple one, but one I really enjoyed drawing. It's based off of this post, which is like a little bit of a challenge thing to draw your favorite character like this, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna do that. Before starting it, I actually did like some doodles to see like which character I wanted to draw for it, and that character ended up being Blank, or like a humanoid version of Blank. And what's interesting is that I actually ended up using that doodle as the sketch because of how I drew it and how simple it was. Or like it was a pretty clear drawing, so I decided to just use that as the sketch. And it's something I kind of want to do in the future, is like make my sketching process a lot more streamlined, because it takes me like usually like a good hour to make a sketch. Obviously for like bigger pieces, like with full body and a lot more anatomy, I won't do that, but for drawings like this where it's just a portrait shot, I might try doing that more, where it's just a doodle as the rough sketch and then go into the drawing. It also helps you that I kept the line art super minimal here. It was basically kind of like cleaning up the sketch almost, because a lot of the rendering I do kind of covers it up. But yeah, that was interesting. And then I used Blank for story reasons. He keeps the side of his face covered all the time for story reasons, so it was kind of perfect. And yeah, when coloring it in, I decided, because I wanted it to feel like kind of looser and more watercolor-y, that instead of just using the bucket fill tool, I would select the specific parts of that I wanted to color, like the skin and hair, and use one of my watercolor brushes to fill it in instead. I like how this looks. It kind of gives like more variety and color. I'm not sure if it's super noticeable after the rendering, but I like how it looks. So yeah, I also did the shading a little differently. I added like a overlay, or like a whole multiply layer on top of like where the main shadow would be, for a little effect, because I've been trying to make the shading a little more realistic, especially on the face, like the planes of the face, how like one side of your face will be in shadow, but then like where your cheek is, where it's a little more elevated, will still get hit by the light. So yeah, I've been working on that, and that's what I did here a little bit. For the flowers, I kept them super watercolory and loose. I lined them, and then like instead of like keeping within the lines when coloring them, I just went in loosely with different colors to render them. And then to also match the reference picture, I also got one of my flower brushes, which has like a stem on it, in order to create like the what I think looks like loose hanging flowers effect. I like how that looks. And yeah, I added in silver cracks into this, like into like the porcelain skin, like in the original. And then also like this, for his eye, I decided to keep it black and glossy, like the original had. I like how that looks, and I tried to actually mimic like how it would look glossy and like lifeless a little bit. I'm not sure if it turned out the best, but I do like it. However, it was like kind of blending into the eye line a little too much, so later on I do add a little bit of shading onto the eye line, so it's a little obvious where the eye like starts and the eye line ends and stuff like that. Yeah, the rendering overall was pretty simple, pretty normal. I knew I wanted the flowers to be the main lighting source, and I also went ahead and like added some add glow effects to it to make it shiny, adding some particles and stuff. For the background, I also kept that super simple, just like, you know, black with a little bit of color behind him, and that was pretty much it. Later on, I do add a couple effects and stuff, just to make it a little more interesting, just a little bit. But yeah, the most interesting part about this was figuring out the colors of the lighting. And I'll actually pop back in later on once I'm done with the rendering and talk about that more. So yeah, so right now I'll just let the speed paint play, and I will come back in a little bit. So like I said, the most interesting part was figuring out the colors of the lights. So while I was rendering with purple. However, towards the end of that, I wasn't sure if I was super happy with that. I liked how it looked, but I wanted to do something different. So I like copy and pasted it, alpha logged like all of the add glow layers, which was a lot, and changed the hue to be different colors. So I tried out gold, and then I tried out silver as well, just to see, because that's kind of like his accent color. And then I tried blue. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, that's the one. I just love how the blue looks. I find that I actually really love blue lighting. I made an artwork a while back. It was like my God of Death character, the Death Kiss one. With that same color for lighting too, the blue color, and I realized I really like how that looks. It like looks so alien and unnatural, and it works perfectly for this artwork that's also pretty like alien kind of and unnatural, and I really like how it looks. It also adds a little bit more of like a melancholiness to it, because blue is usually associated with sadness. So yeah, I ended up choosing blue instead of the original purple that I was shading with. Luckily, it didn't end up affecting the artwork too much, changing the lighting color. I just had to change all of the add glow layers, which was a bit much, but luckily I had saved like doing the effect works, like the extra effects afterwards, so that I could change that to the color I wanted as well. And that was pretty much it for this drawing. It was pretty simple, but I liked working on it. I liked the colors a lot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Blank is usually like a wolf boy. If you want to see him, you can check out my comics, Mysteries of Distearia. You can read it, the webcomic version of it, or you can get the physical version of the first volume on my Etsy shop. And that is pretty much it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.